The interesting title was Bacteria Preventer, and the scientific title was Using Different Types of Food Acids to Prevent Bacteria Growth. The purpose of this experiment was to find out if food acids could prevent bacteria from growing inside our bodies. This is the background info. There is much bacteria in our bodies, but only 1% could harm us. Good bacteria helps breaks down foods. Citric acid is from lemons. Malic acid is from apples. And tartaric acid is from potatoes. These are the three acids that were used to conduct the experiment. This is my works cited. Which food acids, citric, malic, and tartaric, prevents bacteria from growth best out of the three different types of acids? The hypothesis was if food acids could prevent bacteria from growing, then which food acid, citric, malic, tartaric, or tartaric, could prevent bacteria best, because bacteria can't live in harsh environments such as acidic environments. The manipulated variable was the types/amounts of acid used on the bacteria. The responding variable was the amount of colonies that survived the acidic environments. The controlled variables were number of drops of acid, number of trials, type of acid, number of days for growth, where bacteria was collected. The procedure was to swab the person's mouth, roll swab around the numbered area for the bacterial growth, then drop 1 drop of the certain type of acid, then do that for all 45 trials, and every 15 trial had a certain type of acid. After all of that, seal the petri dishes and set them in the incubator for 2 days, then record data by counting the number of colonies that survived. The mean for citric was 0.06 colonies of bacteria, the mean for malic acid was 0 colonies, and the mean for tartaric was 19.26 colonies of bacteria. Tartaric environment had the greatest bar on the graph because tartaric acid did not prevent bacterial growth well at all. Only 2 out of the 3 acids prevented bacterial growth well. To get rid of the limitation was by bribing people, because not everyone wanted their mouth to be swabbed. Tartaric acid does not prevent bacterial growth that well at all, because the acid is not strong enough. An error would be that the person could have eaten something to reduce the bacteria count to prevent that from happening, to reduce the bacteria count from their mouths. To prevent that from happening, there should be a certain time to where the person can't eat anything before swabbing. An extension would be testing other food acids that prevent bacterial growth even greater. And this experiment would apply to the world by finding out if it really is healthy to eat too much fruits containing acids, such as malic acid, because the acid can potentially kill good bacteria in the body, which then will let the other acids, not the other acids, but the other bacteria grow, and that could harm the body. The hypothesis was wrong because the greater acid was malic rather than the citric, because malic had an average of 0 colonies of bacteria growth compared to the citric acid, which had an average of 0.06 colonies. The low and high data for malic was 0, the low for citric was 0, and the high was 1 colony. The hypothesis was wrong because the word citric was made to think as a powerful acid, which then malic was a greater acid.